What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of TNC Reacts. Today is Monday Motivation, and we're going to be talking about making necessary shifts. Now, what I mean by that is not the shift of scheduling. I'm talking about shifts in your motions, because what I've been noticing is that a lot of us, especially people that are older, are kind of stuck in the analog world. We remember working with our hands. We remember doing certain jobs that required more physical work, where the new age is more digital. A lot of people are becoming millionaires because of the digital world, or they're making really good money based off of it. And for us as older individuals, if we didn't get ourselves in the position to where we could live comfortably based off of $20 an hour, we're now starting to feel that crush of monetary issues, right? Man, everything's so expensive. I don't make enough to make the adjustments or the shifts to be able to deal with it. So how do you do it? Honestly, you gotta start studying. You gotta start making adjustments to understand the new age game, because whether you like it or not, we were that as well. You see what I'm saying? We were making that shift when we were born. We were doing stuff technologically that the parents weren't able to do, because why? We were the first group to see the internet actually come in. Our difference was is that more than likely a lot of us wasn't told, hey, invest in these products, because the parents didn't know to invest in them. Otherwise, we'd all be rich, right? So, so right now it's upon us, as far as we get older, is do we stay stuck in the rut, or do we actually start to make the changes necessary? And this is what you need to ask yourself, or this is what you need to tell yourself, is that, hey, $20 isn't enough. That's now would probably be considered a high school job, or like anywhere from 7 to 20 bucks might be considered good for a 18-year-old, 19-year-old, maybe 20-year-old. But they'd have to probably be still living with their parents, or they could be living on their own, but it's definitely paycheck to paycheck. So then for the older individuals, what would be the ideal wage? Now, I've seen people talk about it because I do pay attention to a lot of like finance stuff, and the median across the US is 45,000 a year. Now, depending on where you live, that is poverty level, right? So for you, you have to ask yourself, what do you need to make a year for you to live comfortably? Some people say 100 grand, and that's just probably you and maybe a wife and a kid. 100 grand a year just to be comfortable. But if you have kids, they say you need to be well above that. And some people, they're like, man, I do not spend that type of money, so I couldn't imagine it. But say you start making that money, you buy a bigger home, so on and so forth. But if you have certain things established, then yeah, you may not change too much. Hopefully, so you start living way below your means, so you don't stress your pockets out. But you need to look up what jobs you need to be working, how much you need to be making, so on and so forth, so you can make the proper shifts and adjustments into what will work for you. Because I myself am like, I got to go back to school, or I got to look for a certification. I have to start researching these things and really taking it serious. Like the jobs I've been working, yeah, decent money, but it's just ain't gonna work. I gotta keep moving up, because the happy median ain't working no more, and I don't want to work two jobs anymore. So I have to start looking for said positions that can actually make me some money. So I'm still at a decent age where I can make the shift. I understand that some people may be older and they're like, I don't want to make the shift. I'm close to retiring from my job. Makes sense. Someone like me, I'm not at that age yet. So yeah, I actually need to take the opportunity to make that shift, because I've already waited too long. I'll be honest. I should have jumped on the bandwagon back during the during that time, and got into a different field, because the profession I was in had already taken a hit, which was in the travel industry. So being in the travel industry and it takes a hit like that, you go back to it, it's not the same appreciation for it, because if anything goes awry again, you're out of a job again. So it's like, do you really want to do that to yourself multiple times over and over, hoping for the best? No. I know people that's done government jobs. And when the government jobs start acting funny and they don't want to pay and they want to put everybody on a freeze or a hold, you're going a month without a paycheck, because the government wants to act up and try to stifle payment to all of these different departments. Like, Homeland Security or whatever because they don't want to agree on some terms, so they freeze out the government. That hurts their pockets. So do I want to deal with that for the rest of my days until I retire? So it's like, what field do I want to look at to allow myself to progress? And that's what you got to ask yourself is what money are you making now? Is this suitable down the road? Can you make it work or can you make more? And if not, is it time for you to make the shift? Are you stuck in that rut and you're noticing it, or is it time to be like, all right, let me hurry up and jump over before it gets too late and I ain't gonna be making no money because now that profession is too filled and I'm getting the bare minimum, you know? So that's just something that you might want to ask yourself, think about, because I'm telling you, the money that I'm making now, if this was back in the early 2000s, I'd be living a dream. I ain't living that dream. But let me know what y'all think down in the comments section and be on the lookout for more videos. All right, everybody. Peace.